nice guy.
He's the nicest man
Ever. Yeah, ever. Really nice.
He looks presidential.
He's got that presidential look. Yeah. So Kennedy.
Why did you kill the president?
Well, it was better. It was like kind of simply because you like have at the very beginning the vice president, and he's like a somewhat antagonist, you know.
Becker.
To the protagonist, and at the very end, he is like the guy who holds the speech. So
You know what it
in a
really-
way, he
Made a
actually making the
transformation.
biggest transformation in the movie.
You're not going to like this idea. I said, I have this really crazy idea. What if the president dies in a storm and we had the vice president do the final speech?
So it was your idea.
I thought what happened, I wasn't there, was that somebody said something like, well, what are we going to do, kill him? And somebody said, now this is the Hollywood version, well, what are we going to do, kill him? Hey, that's a good idea.
No, it's not like how
it didn't happen that way?
No.
But that's a much better story.
You've never been to Tokyo, right?
No. I'm just going.
This is snow from London. It's very dirty and muddy. You know, it's London hail.
Let the games begin.
There was like one guy, he could throw hail like nobody else.
We first sold the script to Fox. They didn't really have that many things, but the one big thing was, the super freeze was always one of the dangers, and they said, you should turn that into the monster of the monster movie. That should be your biggest jeopardy. And Roland and I had not originally done that because the super freeze also is something that is the most made up of the movie. I mean, the movie's not really that made up in terms of the science of it. The super freeze is the most sort of obviously fictional. When I even spoke to the people at NOAA, they sent me back a terrifying email about how super cold air could actually come down, but it would be totally different. But so we just said, okay, that's all right. We know that it's not realistic, but we want to use it as an element in the film.
When the super freeze was over, you know, we like kind of had this scene, you know, like kind of in the burger joint. We have them flipping burgers. Now it feels like flipping burgers. Why is he not like goes out there in the storm again and saves his son?
Right,
so
so
what we did
close.
now, like what we do is like Jason wakes up. He finds Jack leaning over a map and saying, you know, it's only like kind of 40 more miles, you know, and then like Jason says like, well, you know, should we not wait a day? And he says like, well, this could be like kind of one day too late. And we made simply a mistake there in shifting something around the super freeze as the main showdown, because we had before that he was tracking, and then, you know, like one day, you know, like kind of when the storm is over, he crawls out of this, you know.
That was in the original.
We just lost the
ending
urgency.
came
We
too
lost the urgency.
And then because of that, also like kind of the storm ends all of a sudden. You know?
So everything was ending.
Yeah, it was everything. It was like kind of, and it's an easy correction to do, and it's not so different from what we have, but it will make all the difference.
And this is a reshoot that you're having in 2 weeks.
Yeah, 2 weeks from today.
This is after the restaurant thing. No, that's why we're like kind of doing this. The people have to understand that the storm keeps going. Yeah. And they have to trudge a little bit more, like kind of they're walking since 2 or 3 hours. Yeah, I think you should be here because there's like Staten Island, you know. No, and then you look, you see that he sees something, and then you look. Then Dash, in the meantime, looks at his GPS. Yeah, I have every night an anxiety attack. I wake up in the middle of the night, and I'm saying, "Oh my God."
What, over effects or what?
Yeah. Every night. And then every day.
Effects or over?
Yeah, over effects. Only effects. And then everything else goes just great.